morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let's just say 85% compatibility with someone. That's fucking take it.
Look when he was VP to now. You look when he was VP to now. You look when he was VP.
Is, Harry Littman is, Boston Brian is, etc. Hey, I thought I had seen the Blue Angels somewhere. Not at George, but I thought it. I just come running when someone says the word cookie. Here I am. Well, thank you, Nick Rich, for being here. I do appreciate you so much for always.
JD Vance.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, it's quite weird.
What was weird was him joking about racism.
Any of that drama. I haven't watched any of it since Tuesday. So the last thing I...
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me shut this off. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's... Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me shut this off. Good morning, good morning. Oh, I got the volume on. There's the volume. Okay, the iPad's going. There we go. We don't need double volume. Anyhow, good morning. It's 9:10 in the morning here in the Pacific time zone in beautiful downtown Las Vegas. Okay, I'm not downtown. I'm off strip. There we go. I'm off strip. Good morning, everybody. Looks like we've got quite a few folks in here already. Thanks so much. 17 watching, 17 thumbs ups. That's a pretty good ratio. CN was the first one in here. I saw it earlier, but now the chat won't let me go all the way. It won't let me scroll all the way to the beginning for some reason. But I did see CN was there, so thanks CN for being here. Roxanne Armfield is here. Good to see Roxanne. Williams here. Good to see William. Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Good morning to Teresa. Maud Day is here in the driver's lounge. Good to see Maud. Let's see. If I skipped you, it's because the it's not allowing me to go all the way to the beginning of the chat for some reason. I hate it when it does that. I hate it when it does that. Let's see here. Let's see here now. What else we got going? We got Michael McAndrews is here. Good to see Michael. Thanks for joining us on this fine day. And Mon Day says, it's a new day. What will Thursday bring? Good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, my microphone is in Las Vegas. You know how they give you updates, those delivery updates? The little microphone that I ordered, that I reordered because the first one apparently got stolen by, porch pirates or whatever. So the update is it's in Las Vegas at the, I guess, UPS place. It probably won't get delivered till tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm not leaving this place, this house, this apartment, until I get that thing. This coffee is hot. It's really hot. I'm burning my lips. So hopefully I'll have the new microphone tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a special impromptu tomorrow just with the new mic and see how it sounds. See how it works, just to test it out. Michael McAndrew says, John is probably eating donuts again. No, but I wasn't eating donuts. I wish. But I did eat a couple eggs real quick. A couple fried eggs and some toast. So yeah, you got me on that one. As far as eating. Not the donuts though. But boy, do I, now I want a donut, Michael. Now I want a donut. Maud Day says, a lot of couch stalking. Cam now wants to bait her on the ottoman. Okay, Michael McAndrews. I think it would be, okay, lots of the couch stalking Cam. So I guess you're talking about JD Vance or something. I don't know. Now wants to debate. So now on the ottoman. That's all reference to JD Vance. Nick Rich 56 or 56 Nick Rich, as he likes to be called, was like number 9. Good day, all. It says good day. Good day. Even though you're not from Australia, but, okay, whatever. Steven says, I think it'll be soon. I like MM if there was a lot of people. I don't know what M is. M. Oh, wait, no. Let's see. Deborah Murphy's here. Hi from Kansas. Hello, Kansas. Hello to Kansas. Hello, Deborah Murphy. Good to see you. Tim Nelson, one of our resident Tims, is here. Saying good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. And yes, I am just sort of waking up. I mean, I woke up about an hour, well, about 45 minutes ago, and I made myself a quick breakfast and some quick coffee here. The thing about this cup is it keeps the coffee really, really hot for a long time. I mean, I just brewed this about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago or probably like 15 minutes ago, and it's still piping hot. Yeah, I think it was like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. It's still hot. Let's see. Paul Sharky Mannion. Hi, TJ and Truckers, says Sharky. Hello, I'm just going to call you Sharky from now on because it's just quicker, easier, and apparently that's something by which you will answer to. So. So there you go. Let's see. Jolie says, hey, everyone out looking for assisted living places for my parents. We'll check in from time to time. Love you guys. Well, we love you too, Jolie. And do get that. That's the more important stuff. So do that. And good luck on that. I know that's a big, big decision. And, you know, a lot of thought goes into that, finding a good place for you folks to move into. Let's see. Pamela's here. Good to see Pamela. Pamela says, good luck to Jolie. Had to do that myself a few years ago. Nick Rich says, is a careless driving conviction resulting in a $200 fine considered a felony? I don't know, Nick Rich. I don't know. But it should be, whoever got that, it should be listed on their charge. Or, I mean, it should not be a mystery. It should say somewhere in the paperwork whether it's a felony or a misdemeanor. Alrighty. Hey, there's Kimchi. Good to see Kimchi here in the driver's lounge. Kimchi says, hi, beautiful geniuses. Hugs at Trucker John. Oh, thank you. I'll take that hug. And gorgeous Jolie. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just skipping on down a little bit, seeing who else is over here in the driver's lounge. Who we got? Michael McAndrews says, saw a skunk at my front door this morning. Explains why my cat has been rushing inside. Oh. Yeah, keep the cat away from the skunk. Otherwise, your cat will smell like a skunk. William's here. Hey, William. Good to see William. Paul Shrunken Manions saying hello to everyone and all that good stuff. All those good things. Brandon Woods saying good afternoon to everybody. Hello, Brandon. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Let's see here. Who else is here? Who else is in the old chat room? The old chat room. Here's a person called Thank You, My Lord, for the Dinner. I guess that's the whole name. Oh, wait. Is that the name? Or it just says dinner. Is that the name? That's it has things. Well, yeah, thank you for being here. Just an unusual name. I don't believe I've seen that one before. So thanks for being here. And make sure you hit that like button for me and subscribe. We're at 2,000 and last I saw 2015 or so subscribers. So we're over 2,000. Thank you so much. All because of you guys. All because of you. All for liking and subscribing and sharing. You hit the share button and man, it really does a lot. So thank you all for being here. We got Fancy. Never fear, Fancy is here. Fancy's late, but that's okay. Better late than never, is what I always say. That's what my dad used to tell me. So yeah, better late than never. There's old Fancy there. Good to see you. Kimchi says, there is no God but Java and Kona is her profits. Spelled, like making money type of profit. Just a little quick little note, a little programming note here, I guess. I might get a knock at the door at any moment, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be after the show. But from maintenance, because I did put in a request for maintenance here because I've got a leaky ceiling. There's water leaking through, which is gross and scary because I don't know if the whole ceiling's going to cave in in the living room over there. So far, no one has responded. But I'm going to wait. I was going to wait till after the show to, if they don't show up, to actually either make a call or walk my ass over to the office, which is just, right over here, not 100 feet away from me probably. And just make sure they got the message and say, hey, you guys gonna send somebody over? Because I got a leaky ceiling here. But anyhow, if there's a knock on the door, I might have to abruptly, leave or get up and go address that. So just know that that might happen during this show. It just might. And so if I get up and leave, then say, where'd you go? What's going on, man? What's going on? So, Mod Day says, TJ's, what's up with S. O'Brien today? Did he support Walls? I don't know. I have no idea. I just woke up. I don't even know who S. O'Brien is. Who's S. O'Brien? I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, enlighten me. Enlighten me. Hey, Fancy gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Fancy. That's so nice of you. Thanks for the help support the show. And Pamela was gifted that. So that's very nice of you. And that helps us to keep growing and getting bigger and stronger. Michael McAndrews says, freedom is good. Freedom is good. And let's see here. Fancy. Kimchi says, Fancy, you rock, sister. Insert wailing guitar riff. Oh, a little bit of Bill and Ted there, I guess. Mod Day says, more coffee, Teamster leader. Oh, yeah, that's right. Mod, that's right. Sean O'Brien. All right, now I know. I mean, yeah. Did he endorse Walls? I don't know. But I don't see why he wouldn't. Because, maybe, I don't know. Maybe is that a breaking story that he didn't? Because I know he did, he endorsed Kamala, right? So, I don't know why he wouldn't endorse Walls. Nick Rich says, SOB? Oh, I gotta go, Sean O'Brien. Guys, Nick Rich, funny. I haven't heard, so maybe I should look that up. Keith Felice here, by the way. Keith says Trump is giving a press conference today at 2 Eastern. He should be especially unhinged. I'll be watching with popcorn. Now, you know what? I haven't downloaded anything here since the last show, unfortunately. I don't think. Do I have anything to post? I don't. I didn't do anything. I've been lazy, I guess. Boy, my chroma key thing looks off too. But yeah, I can't mess with that now. But yeah, so let's see. But did you see the weird, I guess, truth thing that Trump posted about Joe Biden is gonna crash the DNC and he's gonna take back his running because he was a coup. It was a coup. Oh my God, it was so, talk about unhinged. The man is completely coming undone. Donald Trump, we're seeing his complete meltdown, like in real time. We're seeing him just completely come apart. You know, it's really it's fascinating, it's kind of funny, and it's kind of scary at the same time because he still has millions and millions and millions of supporters, which is mind-boggling and baffling that anyone could support this motherfucker. You know, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Other than the fact that a lot of people are still in a bubble and they listen to just whatever Trump says and to what, you know, his little media, whatever it's right-wing media says, and it's just, you know, so they are these like brainwashed people, but it's just, it's kind of frightening. Well, it's very frightening to see where the Trump has been. He was the goddamn president of the United States. Just that fact alone is scary as shit. And he's trying to do it again. But I do think he's going to get his ass shellacked in November. Cian says, I was listening to Lewis Black, 185. Is that his episode number? Anyhow, love him when he gets mad. Sorry for all caps. Halfway I saw it. You know what? I don't have an issue with all caps like Randy Rhodes does, apparently, or the mods over there. Kimchi. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm kind of kidding. But or other players. To me, that does not. For some reason, people actually think that they're being yelled at, or that their ears are they're like it's a real thing, that they're really hearing yelling. Okay, you're not. You're just reading something in all caps. It's not. So I don't care about that. In fact, it makes it easier for me to read because my eyes aren't so great. So all caps. Now I don't want to see everyone going all caps. That might be kind of weird, but just because I said it makes it easier for me to read. But anyhow, I don't have no problem. I'm not a little gentle Gen Z or whatever that takes all offense to all caps. That to me seems to be the generation that onward that really, or maybe maybe it started with the millennials, with the all caps being so offensive. I mean, I don't even can hardly even read emoji. So why the hell would I care about all caps? You know what I mean? I mean, there are kids now that they probably can read and can communicate with emojis better than they can with words, with actual real words, probably. Fancy says, I hope he drops out. So you're talking about Trump dropping out? The only way he's going to drop out is if he leaves the country before he gets arrested for being convicted on something. Anyhow, Michael says, yep, I love Lewis Black. He loves him some Lewis Black. Teresa TAK says, Keith Believe, you must be patient listening to the clown Donald Dump Trump. Sorry, I cannot. I cannot listen to that drivel, as I like to say. Kimchi says, no fancy. I want Trump to lose bigly, strongly, with tears in his eyes, sir. Sir. He said, sir. Sir. I hate all that those sir stories. Isn't it going to be a great day when Donald Trump is finally hauled off to prison and we don't have to hear any more sir stories? I kind of feel sorry for the guards around him, though, because he's going to be, in his mind, that's going to be his the Oval Office when they stick him in prison. He's going to be like, all right, so he said, sir, here's your food, and he presented it to me on this beautiful plastic tray. It was the most beautiful food on a tray. Sir, he said, sir, here's your food. Those are the sir stories that I look forward to. Pamela said, the maggots are desperate. They got nothing. They got nothing. Nothing. Pamela says, hashtag MYODB. I have no idea what that means. Make your own damn biscuits. I don't know. I don't know what it means. But I kind of like that. Make your own damn biscuits. Oh, mind your own damn business. Yes, Pamela. See, I'm a little slow on the uptake. But, give me a couple minutes and a couple seconds, I'll get it. I'll get it, man. I'll get it. Plus, I'm a little groggy still. Michael McAndrews, Dumpy can hit a golf ball. That's about all, huh? About all he can do. Kim Shee says, be right back. Time to pray. All right. Get your praying done. Get that done. Get that in. Let's see here now. Keith Police says Tim Walz is the guy J.D. Vance pretends to be. Tim Walz is the real deal. J.D. Vance is a front-running phony. He's a big old honking phony. He's a big old honking phony. Here I'm pretending like I'm playing a banjo, kind of like on South Park. Mont Day says, Republicans for Harris reckon so awesome they are publicizing their cause. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. We're seeing the rats flee the sinking ship, or whatever the analogy is, or metaphor. And I welcome all of the Republicans who are jumping ship, and at least, even if it's just temporarily coming to our side, I welcome you. We will take your votes. Vote for Kamala. Kamala. And they are. They're coming out. A lot of Republicans are coming out and saying, I'm voting for Kamala. It's not that they're not saying that they're not going to vote, or that they can't vote for Trump. They're actually coming out and saying they're going to support Kamala Harris, which is great. Even the freaking Mormon church, for God's sakes. The freaking Mormons are... What's the Mormons leave you to go support someone else? I mean, you're kind of fucked, Donald. You are kind of fucked, MAGA. Let's see. Fancy says, I tried to hit a golf ball once. It's harder than you think. It is pretty hard. It's pretty tricky. I'm not a golfer myself. I have golfed a few times. With varying levels of success. Sometimes missing the ball altogether. And sometimes hitting that baby right in the sweet spot and getting a good drive. But I don't do it very... I've been thinking about taking it up in my old age here. Seems like a fun game. Like I said, I've only golfed on a golf course. Maybe only 5 times in my whole life. And it's been probably, gosh, at least 20 years since I've been on a golf course. The last time I actually, hit some golf balls was at Topgolf with my kids about over a year. That's been over a year ago already. And it wasn't very good. I was very, very bad. Although I did get a couple of good ones in, but yeah, it's hard, man. Nick Rich says, let's see, in all caps, can be easier to read, but more difficult to punctuate. Just saying. And even threw in an ellipsis in there, Nick. Way to get that ellipsis in there. Kind of drives home the point. Doesn't it? Doesn't it, though? Roxanne says, I get obsessed when I hear him, speaking of Trump, speaking. Yeah, I know. He does have this great, it's like kind of a grating, kind of a fingernails on the chalkboard type of effect. Absolutely. And there's Teresa, again, saying, sadly, my 2 sisters live in the bubble and drink the KoolAid. Yep. We've all got family members like that. That's most of us do. I know I do. I got brother and sister like that. Although they've been drinking the KoolAid a lot for a long time, even before Trump. And they were big right-wing nut jobs way before Trump anyhow. So it makes sense, It makes sense. Teresa says all caps never bothered me. Yeah, never bothered me. But I don't know. I'll speak for myself. I'm not a millennial or newer or younger, so I think that has a lot to do with it. For some reason, they were taught that all caps means that you're yelling, and then whenever they see all caps, they immediately are like, oh, my precious ears. Anyhow, my day, we have to tell them about Project 2025. Yes, we do. Last night I had what turned out to be, I didn't know at first, but a Canadian couple. And when I picked them up, as we were driving to their destination, the guy in the back seat said, so he just goes, because I always exchange a little pleasantries or whatever. I'm always like, hey, so how you guys doing tonight? And they'll say, yeah, we're doing pretty good, or we'll talk about the weather. Maybe it's hot. Yeah, it's hot here. And but then he goes, so what do you think about those? What do you? How did he phrase it? I think he said, what do you think about the presidential candidates? I think that's what I think that's how he phrased the question. And so my first reaction is I kind of grinned, or I almost laughed, and I was just like, because I'm thinking like, oh my God, this guy wants to talk politics. So that's why I said, I go, so you want to talk politics? And he goes, yeah. I go, okay. I'm like giving him a warning. I'm like, okay. Since you brought it up, because I don't really talk politics in the car when I'm doing Uber, unless someone brings it up. And so he goes, yeah. What do you think about the presidential candidates? And so I go, well. How did I start it off? I think I just said, well, I really, really like Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and he goes, what do you think of Trump? And I go, I hate him. And he goes, oh. And at this point, I didn't know that these guys were Canadians. It was kind of a young couple, they're late 20s, the early 30s type of deal. And he goes, oh. So I'm thinking I've got like a maggot now in the back seat or something, And I go, yeah. And he goes, why is that? Why do you hate Trump? Or I think that he asked me that later, because I think somehow, it's funny how you kind of forget the exact order of a conversation. But because I think I said, or he said, why would you? Because I could fully support Joe Biden. I think he's a great president. He's done a great job. And I told him how, I go, well, when he stepped down, and when Kamala was the new pick, she stepped up to take over the campaign. I go, I was all on board 100%, and I go, I'm really on board for her. And he goes, what did you like? He goes, what did you like about Biden? And so I just told him, I go, he goes, the guy was like, he goes, the guy was like comatose, and you couldn't, or something like that. He made some reference to being, comatose or something like that, whatever it was. And I go, regardless, he still has been the best president in my lifetime. I told the guy, I go, I'm 63 years old, and what he has done, this turnaround in the economy, taking an economy that was on the brink of collapsing under Trump, and really turning us around and making the best economy I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I told him, we've done that kind of laundry list of things, dropping unemployment down to like 4%, wages being up, the highest wage increases we've seen in 50 years, best economy we've seen in 60 years, all this stuff that I go, our inflation rate, the best in the world is, the rest of the world was having double-digit inflation rates, and ours, we had a 9%, but then we brought it down to more normal levels, like 3-4% or whatever, all this kind of stuff. I go, so regardless of Joe's what he looked like with his health, he did a great job. And I fully supported him, and was going to vote for him, and I think he could have beat Trump anyhow. But as soon as Kamala came on, I was all on board with her. And I go, the first thing I did is I donated some money to her campaign. I go, and me and millions of other people, we all had the same idea, how we were going to get right behind Kamala Harris and support her, and how she's raised over $300 million, just, and it was just millions, tens of millions of dollars right on the same day, And so I told that guy all this stuff, and so at some point he said, well, so what don't you like about Trump? Or why wouldn't you vote for Trump? And I go, well, the fact that he's a pedo rapist, a 34-time convicted felon, and a traitor who's given top military secrets, top secrets to our enemies, I go, that right there, that's just enough right there. And then he just goes, oh. And then that's all he said. He says, oh. It was like, oh, okay. I didn't think about that. So then we were driving, and I go, so where are you guys from? And then they said they're from Toronto, Canada. And I was like, oh, okay. So you guys don't really know about everything that's going on. And he's like, no, not really. We see stuff in the news, but that's what he goes. That's why I asked you, you know. And then they started talking about Canadian politics a little bit. So I get the feeling that, I don't know, they seem like a nice couple. I don't know, but they would probably be right-wingers if they were in America, because they started trashing Trudeau, saying how Trudeau is ruining their country, and that he's just all about climate change and fighting climate change, and how it's ruining their country because he's taxing them too much or something like that. So that was kind of interesting to hear their point of view, I guess, from Canada. And I know I've got Canadians in this chat here that are much more, you guys are much more in the loop. The people in this chat, and people who watch shows like mine, we ingest this kind of stuff more. But the Canadians that I had in my car last night, I don't think they were quite as knowledgeable as the good Canadians I have in this chat. Anyhow, Kimchi says, dude, I just followed that rule with Diane in the chat. All right. Don't like it either. But I do delete lies, propaganda, and just asking questions. All right, Kimchi. I was just messing with you, Kimchi. I was just messing with you. All right. Ooh. I said all right, and then someone outside said no. William says, when Trump loses the will... No, wait, when Trump loses, he's going to lose the will to live, probably. When Trump loses, he will never concede. It will get very ugly before it's over. Court cases after court cases. Let's hope it doesn't go to the Supreme Court. And there's always that goddamn court that he got 3 picks in, 3 illegitimate picks as far as I'm concerned. Michael McAndrews says, wait till they see my 7581 project. Wow, now I got to know, what is that, Michael? What the hell is the 7581 project? Please do tell. Teresa says, my daughter is one of them that feels all caps is wrong, and to her it seems like you're mad when you... Yeah, I know. It's a whole generational thing. Monday says, same here, Michael. Some replays really uplifting with the dim rhetoric commenting on his baloney. His baloney. He's full of baloney. Michael says it's a secret. This project 7581. It's a secret. All right. Monday says, it's beautiful to wake up to sane people. TJ, I don't care if we are groggy. And sanity might be a question also. Teresa says, I never liked J.D. Vance, and I still don't. He hasn't convinced you? He hasn't turned you around on that? By his speeches, just, hasn't dazzled you, huh? Kimchi says, Teresa, it's hard to read all caps. Better to use a few words for emphasis, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. Let's see here. What's going on now? I'm going to scroll on down a bit in this chat room. I'm going to mosey. I'm going to mingle. I'm not going to mosey. I'm not moseying. I'm going to mingle with the chat here. Going to brush shoulders with you. Mount Day says, Teresa, I didn't even know who he is. I'm glad now I mute him whenever he comes up. Can't stand the lies. I guess that's talking about J.D. Vance. Cian says, no problemo, mi amor. I can't see really fine. Okay, I'm going to skip through all the caps talk here. We're beating a dead horse on that one. I'm going to skip on all the all caps talk. Did I skip somebody? Oh, Mike H is here. Hey, welcome, Mike H, to the Driver's Lounge. Mike H, if you don't know, is our resident troll, and I think we've taken a liking to Mike H for some reason. But so thanks for being here, Mike, and I await your first sort of trolly comment. Let's see here. Tim Farrell says, anyone see Stephen Miller on Ari Melber last night? Pure evil. I did not see it. And the thing is, the sad thing about it, or I guess, is when you say Stephen Miller, the first thing I think of is, the rock guy, singer guy. But then when you say pure evil, I'm like, oh no, it's not the rock star guy. It's that other guy, that other weird, self-hating Jew who welcomes Nazism. Nick Rich has gifted a membership. Thank you, Nick Rich. And CN got it. Hey, CN. Thank you, Nick Rich, so much. That helps to support the show, helps us, get out there in the algorithms and all that good stuff. So thank you so much. Your support is always greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Kim She said she saw the clip, Tim, about talking about the Steve Miller clip. He makes me nauseated. Yeah, I didn't see the clip, and just thinking about the guy makes me nauseated. Talking about the whole thing about they're weird, they're just weird. They are weird, but they're also gross and disgusting. They're talking about MAGA and these people like Stephen Miller. They just have this quality to just give you the skeevies, the heebie-jeebies, Tim Farrell says Canadians are drifting far right. Jolie says, just checking in. Please behave, Mike. I'm trying to find assisted living for my parents today. None of your nonsense. Mike says, sorry to hear that, Jolie. Mike H, what's up with the stock market? I have not checked today. I do know that the right-wingers were all almost giddy that there was a drop in the market, 2 or 3 days ago? And it seemed to rebound. And then you don't hear a peep out of them. It's like, whoop. I guess we'll drop all this. The world is coming to an end. The stock market is going to be 1929 all over again. I guess we'll just zip that up for now because as far as I know, it rebounded. Now I haven't checked today. Maybe did it drop again? I don't know. That's what markets do. They go up and down a little bit. It doesn't mean that there's going to be a stock market crash. It's still higher than it ever was under Trump, even with the drops. Fancy says DJT, the Donald J. Trump stock is down to 25.83. Good job, Donald J. Trump. Quite the businessman over there. Michael McAndrews says, not too often have we had some nuts attempt the coup on our country. Yeah, and the Jan 6ers tried it. A lot of them are ending up in prison. 56 Nick Rich says, this Torontonian is woke. So, yeah, Nick, you got some. I had 2 of them in my car last night, and they, maybe I'm unfairly judging them, calling them right wingers or whatever, but they weren't too happy with Trudeau. And Fancy says Canadians are usually very nice. They were nice. They were a nice couple. Don't get me wrong. They were very nice. There was no no vitriol or whatever. It was very pleasant conversation. If anything, I was the one getting a little bit. You know how I can get when I'm talking about Trump or whatever, and I had to like check myself. I had to check myself a little bit to make sure. I mean, it was cool. I kept it cool. I didn't get but I could just feel, you kind of feel something kind of rising up inside you. And I had to tamper it down, so I just wanted to keep it mellow, keep it mellow and just have a pleasant conversation. And that's what I think we did. As I do my tongue jet. Thank you very much. Let's see. I'm just skipping down a little bit. MJ Daniel, I'll be working on a project 420 later today. There you go. Michael McAndrew, I accidentally sat on my project 7844, so it's out the window. All right, we're just it's still a mystery. Still the old mystery going on here. Okay, so Nick Rich posted that at 9:47, so I'm about 4 minutes behind right now. But that's what happens when you guys, if you guys want me to read the chats, which I don't mind doing, but it's what happens. It's just how time works. So that's why I'm kind of scrolling down a little. It looks like I'm kind of caught up. So let's see. We got CN says, what are all these plans I see? Can you all investigate all those election thieves and find out who they are and nip it in the butt? I think we know. I think we know. Are you talking about the electors that have been put in place that we already know of? I think there was like 70 of them in a bunch of these key battleground states. I think we're already very aware of it. And that's a good thing, that we're aware of them. And anything they do is going to be highly scrutinized under a microscope, if you will. And I think that, continuing on with the investigations and court proceedings for the last batch of these fake electors, we've seen Jenna Ellis come forward and say she's agreed to flip, which means she's going to be providing a lot of information about the whole operation, about how these about who all the fake electors were and everything else like that, and they need to be punished to the full extent of the law, and so that these new batch of potential fake electors or whatever will know that they will have the full weight of the Department of Justice on their asses if they try anything. Michael McAndrews says, Nazis are unhappy all over the place. Their dumpy stump leader is going down. Nick Rich, not going back. Not going back. Not going back. Not going back. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Bob Day says, they're going to try everything, lie, cheat, steal, per their usual. Yep, they are, and but we're ready for them. I think we're ready for them. This ain't 2016, and this ain't 2020. Like I keep saying, we're not going to fall for the old banana in the tailpipe trick anymore. No more. No more. No more. No more. Fancy says, I'm back. Had an update. It always messes with the system, or with this system. Michael McAndrews, is little Lindsay in prison yet? I believe that's a rhetorical question because we know he's not in prison yet. There's a whole bunch of them that should be. I think MTG should be going to prison. Whether or not she's the hooded bomber person or not, she was involved with all that shit, with the planning, all that everything. So there's a whole bunch of people in Congress that should be probably locked up. Besides Lindsay, a whole bunch of Republicans. Michael McAndrews, NGB, not going back. That would be a good T-shirt, just NGB, huh? And then we'd be like, I know what you're talking about. Alvin Stoob's here. Good to see Alvin. Alvin says, big blue wave will save us. Yeah, the big old blue wave. The big blue wave. And I was trying to come up with things, how I was trying to change vote blue no matter who. because then people will say, you know, like the right wingers will just go, oh, you're just, you know, a sheep or whatever. And then we've had some ideas in the past few episodes here, past live streams, about what to say for vote blue in lieu of vote, no matter who. And so I was thinking, like, what about this one? Vote blue for all the things dear to you. And then you could go like, colon, and then you could do like a little list. Like if you were making a meme or something, and then it'd be like bodily autonomy, like a woman's right to choose, like Medicare for all, like keeping your Social Security, keeping your Medicare, like fighting climate change, you know, a whole list of things, you know, like higher wages, like supporting unions, you know, the whole thing. So vote blue for all the things that are dear to you, and then boom, 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 a little list of all the things that are dear to you. It's, at least, you know, I mean, I know like our kids are dear to us, our family. I guess that too. You can throw them in there too, because voting blue, it's better for them too. So anyhow, Nick Rich, mind your own damn business. That was what someone else posted, that MDOB thing. Fancy says she gave aid and comfort. She kissed their feet. About MTG, yes. Delta Dawn's here. I'm really liking Walls. Me too, Delta. Good to see Delta Dawn. Thank you for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Good to see you. Michael McAndrew says, yep, John, we saw the treason from a bunch of them. Yep. Treasonous bastards, they are. Let's see. Fancy says, me too, Don. The more I get to know about him, he seems like a good guy. Not only just a good guy, but has good policy positions. If you see what he's done in Minnesota, those are all great policy things he's done for Minnesota that he's gotten in there. Hey, we got Butterflies Are Free. Good to see Butterflies Are Free. Says, hi, Trucker John, and chat. Stopped in to give you a like. I can't stay. I wish I could. I wish you could too, but thanks for coming by. And whatever the few seconds or moments we get with you, have with you, we cherish here at the Trucker John live stream. So, but thanks for being here. Thanks for that thumbs up. By the way, we got 25 watching, 38 thumbs up. So yeah, keep it going. Let's keep those thumbs up coming. Let's keep them coming. There's Doug G. Hello, Doug G. Good to see Doug G in the chat. Thank you for being here. Butterflies Are Free says Harris Waltz. Walls. It's not Waltz, but Walls, whatever. But we get you. We get you. Mike H. Unions are iffy. Well, whatever. I'm not going to get into it about unions. Unions, yeah, sure. Have there been some abuses? Have there been, you know, there's always the stories about here, this and that, but the overall, overall, the idea of a union, of collective bargaining, is a great, great, great thing. Of workers being able to collectively bargain. That is an amazing, awesome power, and I'm all for it, because the rich business owners, we may never be able to on a one-to-one basis, we can never really stand up to them because of how much, you know, richer they are. They can afford attorneys and lawyers. You know, lawyers are the same thing, but they can do all that. So against just one lowly little factory worker, you're not going to get anything you want. But when you got the whole damn factory standing together and collectively bargaining, then that's the whole thing. Now I'm hearing something going on. I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's some sort of tool or something going on, so we might be getting some loud noises. they might be upstairs because I told them I have a leak in my ceiling, so they might be going up there first, and then they're going to come down here. So just to let you know, there's going to be some noise, and if it gets too bad, I might have to end the live stream. And like I said, there might be a knock on my door at some point where I'll have to go and let maintenance in here because they're going to have to fix my ceiling. Anyhow, let's see, where are we at? Michael McAndrews, I saw the Nazis attack our unions. Butterflies Free, the Chuds are also saying stolen valor for Tim, which is total horseshit. If you watched Ojeda's live stream last night, he explained it very, very, or yesterday, yeah, he explained it very, very, in no uncertain terms, that was not stolen valor, that he achieved his rank, and he was acting as that rank, so that there was no stolen valor. And it's not gonna do anything. All these things that they're doing, none of it's gonna stick because I think most of us, like I say, we're not falling for the banana and the tailpipe trick anymore. We're not gonna get swift boated. None of that shit, none of that horse shit. They try to do for Kamala. They try to do all the same things they did to Hillary about the laugh. And even almost sort of like Trump is almost. It's almost the same thing with Obama with birth certificate, but now when you say like I didn't know she was black until just recently and all that kind of stuff. They're trying all these little things. None of that's gonna work because we ain't falling for it. Not that I did or most of us in the chat. We probably didn't fall for it, but the general American voting public isn't gonna fall for that horse shit. So they can try all that shit, but it's not gonna stick because there's nothing of any substance that they're trying, that they have. So that MAGA and Trump have, Delta Dog says workers have to be protected from corporations, period. Nick Rich says employers want to control you, not build you, but your fellow workers want progress. Michael, are they still digging tunnel? No, this is something up above. Like I said earlier, I have I told you I have a leak in my ceiling, and maintenance might be knocking on the door here. That's what I was talking about. Fancy says, it's sound effects, don't worry about it, TJ. It's not real super loud right now. That's why it doesn't actually sound like it's in the apartment above me. It sounds like it's over that way a little bit. But anyhow, Mike H. Rake has nothing to do with stolen valor. That, Mike, you must not be familiar with the story. They're saying that he claimed to be a rank that he wasn't. That's part of the stolen valor thing. There's no stolen valor. If you think that Tim Walz has done anything to do with stolen valor, then you are sorely mistaken. And you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you're just repeating a right-wing talking point. See, that's what you do, Mike. You just repeat these right-wing talking points and you don't really even look into it. You just follow the orders of dear leader of Trump, of your dear leader Trump. And you're just one of those, I guess, good soldiers. You're a good Nazi, Mike H. You're a good little Nazi, and you just repeat the MAGA talking points. But you should probably look into it because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Let's see. Josh Cryer's here. Hey, Josh, good to see you. Josh says Walz is an amazing pick. And Josh says Trump is losing it. And it is testament to the fact that he is such a good pick. That's why they're losing their shit so much. And Kamala is doing so good. That's why they're losing their shit, because they know these are really great candidates, and that the voting public here is really taking a liking to him, and it's reinvigorated this campaign and put so much excitement into it. You know, it's really amazing what's going on here. Nick Chris says we can tolerate just about anything people live stream. John House Sparks says the greatest live stream ever seen, and tech issues never matter. Take it on the road. We're here for it. All right, thanks Nick for that support. Mod Day says, peace to all, stronger together, stay safe, stay free, have a wonderful day. It sounds like you're leaving. Are you leaving, Mod? So if you're leaving, thanks for being here. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one. But yeah, thank you so much for your support here. Pamela says, we have the knowledge, we have the technology, $6 million man. Yeah, that's going back. Roxanne says, Mike H is getting desperate now. He always has been, so... Josh Crayer says, I want Walls or someone like him for 2032. Incredible candidate. 2032 is going to be Gavin Newsom. Or Gretchen Whitmer, or maybe even AOC. At least all running, you know. Who knows? Maybe even Pete Buttigieg. Jimbo's here. Hey, Jimbo. Good to see Jimbo in the driver's lounge here. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe. We're over 2,000 subscribers. Join us, won't you? And make sure you hit the share button and share the show out. It helps the show to grow. Jimbo, I'm interested in hearing Jimbo. So Jimbo says, Walls announced his retirement months before Iraq became a thing. 24 years of service, Vance never saw combat. Yeah, Walls had already, filed for his retirement. And then I guess his unit, he was stationed in Italy, apparently. And I guess his unit was going to get deployed. Maybe to Iraq. Jimbo could fill in the details there, but he had already filled out his paperwork, and to retire because he had plans to go and run for I think U.S. House, right, in Minnesota, and those plans were already all in the works, and everything was good. I mean, there was no problems from the military. They're like, yeah, fine, you did your 24 years. Thank you very much. You know, there's no issue. This is a non-issue that the right wing is just, like, say, desperate. They're so desperate. Michael McAndrew says, Bospers says what? Bospers' buddy says what? Yeah. So, yeah, they have a lot of nerve. You've got President Bonespurs, former President Bonespurs, and you've got, you know, just such hypocrisy and double standards. And let's see. Josh Cryer says Vance sat in an air conditioner like my MAGA brother did. My brother bragged about never seeing combat in Iraq. While lucky and blessed for him, who brags about that? Yeah, that's not really a brag, right? It's like, hey, look, thank you for your service. And look, not everyone is on the front lines. Not everyone sees combat. And they serve an important role. I mean, you got to feed the troops. So the cooks, the people working in the kitchens, they're just, I think, just as important as anybody else. Because you got to feed the troops. And, you know, all of the things, all of the support, groups are all important. But, you know, if you never saw combat, it's not like you don't brag about it. That's not a brag. Yeah, it's weird that they would do that. Delta Donna says, you know, his name is Mike H. And then see you next Tuesday. Frat boy kind of shit. Walter McCarver says, hi, Trucker John. Hey, Walter. Good to see Walter in the driver's lounge. Walter says, hi, Trucker John. Kamala and Walls gives hope and joy. And joy, as you've probably noticed, especially in that first speech, when Kamala introduced Walls as her running mate, joy was the buzzword. Anyhow, so Walter says Trump and Vance and MAGA racism and hate lies. But yeah, that's such a dichotomy, right? Such a difference between the two campaigns, where you have Trump, that it's just doom and gloom and everything is going to hell and we're going to hell, and everything's burning, and then we have Kamala and Tim Walz, and it's all about hope and joy and just bringing back just normalcy, right? Hey, Paul Sharkey man, he says, I'll just had my dinner, chapati and southern fried chicken, delicious. I don't know what chapati is, but the southern fried chicken sounds good to me. Josh Cryer says, Trucker John, were you against Biden stepping down and such, or what? I don't see all your streams, but I was for him stepping down, and he did this country a good service. Okay, I have to be honest, I was not. I mean, that whole lead up to it, and this was kind of what I was telling the Canadian passenger last night. I was really, really against it. Like when George Clooney was saying all this shit, and Michael Moore, and everybody else, even like Pelosi and Schiff or whatever were alluding to it. And I was really against it, because it's pretty unprecedented for a candidate this late in the game to bow out, and then whoever the replacement is to be able to win. Okay, that's why. I mean, yeah, I saw the debate, and I came out the next day after that debate saying Joe Biden looked horrible. But I also said that Donald Trump was just a loud liar. I was the one who did that. And then, of course, Daily Show and all these, they copy me. Everyone copies me. No, I'm just kidding. But I did say, Trump was the loud liar, while Biden was the quiet truth teller. But anyhow, I saw that debate. But then I saw him come out the next day, I think it was South Carolina, with a rousing speech. And I was like, yeah, that's the Joe Biden right there. That's the guy. That's the one we need. And so I was totally against it because I didn't want Donald Trump to win. And I felt, and I don't think I was wrong, that Joe Biden was our best chance of beating Trump. And I still think that Biden would have won if he stayed in. I do. I still believe that. It would have been just a closer, harder grind. But now we see Kamala Harris getting all the support and turning these polls around, and it's really wonderful. So yeah, I was against it, but I wasn't alone in that. Many of us were against it because of the importance of this race and the importance of beating Trump. There was no way of knowing, I don't think, that this Kamala Harris was going to reinvigorate the electorate, the voters, so much. There really was no way of knowing it. But I did what everybody else did that very day. It was on a Sunday, right? Because I remember watching Boston Brian, and Boston Brian was the one who came in and said, hey, I got bad news. Biden just announced that he's stepping down. And I remember, Boston Brian, everybody in the chat, me, we were all, I could just see, we were all like, oh my God, oh no. But within an hour or two, everything changed, and I was like, okay, we cannot let this deter us. We cannot stop. We cannot give up. We cannot give this thing to fucking Trump. And I went online and I donated $15 to Kamala Harris campaign for president. And apparently I was not the only one, because by the end of that day, remember, that first day alone, she brought in, was like $50 million or something, and then within the next day, it was like a couple days or whatever, it was like 200 million and then 300 million. I mean, it was just amazing. I think everyone got on that said, okay, look, we love Joe. We were sad that he stepped down, but God damn it, we're gonna fucking put everything we got into Kamala Harris. And we see her speeches. We're not going back and all that stuff. I mean, it's just been amazing. So yeah, I can admit, okay, maybe I was wrong about George Clooney and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they knew more than I did. But I think it's working out for the best. And Joe Biden is still our president. He's still leading us and doing a great job. And like you said, he did a great service to the country. Not only has he been the greatest president within my lifetime, I think, in my opinion, but like you said, he did a great service. I mean, for him to be able to step down and hand the reins over to Kamala Harris was such a great act of patriotism, and it just shows his love of this country, because he wouldn't have done that if he didn't think Kamala Harris had it in her, you know? So kudos to Joe Biden, and all I gotta say is Harris Walls 2024. Harris Walls to the balls. I don't know, but yeah. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, Josh. Michael McAndrews Biden is fine. Mike H. assembled the D214 should clear that up. Mike H. It's all been cleared up. It's all been cleared up, dude. I mean, you're so desperate, Mike. You're so desperate. You and you, all you right wingers, you're so fucking desperate. Your desperation reeks. You reek of desperation. And the sad thing of it is that you're living in the same world that I'm living in. And how you see it so differently is so mind-boggling. How you really think that under Biden that things have gotten worse? I don't know how you could. I just don't. I mean, I don't. Anecdotally, things can get worse for people. Like you could lose your job, or you can get a really bad sickness, or you could have loved ones that get sick or die, and that's horrible on that type of thing. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about overall the state of the union. How our country is doing. Is so much better now under Biden than under Trump, and I don't see how you can't see that unless you just are totally, like they say, drinking the KoolAid, or you got the blinders on, or you're in the MAGA bubble, the Fox News bubble, or whatever, the right-wing media bubble. You're in a bubble, basically. I guess that's why. I guess I answered my own question of why we live in the same country, same world, and yet you see it so differently than I do. And it's just, I guess I answered my own question on that. Walter Makarovich, I've been waiting a long time to see Fox News on a complete meltdown. Life is good. And I think even Fox News is having to report that how much Kamala is leading in the polls and all that stuff. Josh Cryer says Walls talked it over with his unit. They told him to go. As his student, he wasn't dodging crap. No, he wasn't. He was not. Everything was all cleared by the military. This was not a dodge. And Mike H., what are your feelings on old Captain Bone Spurs or whatever, President Bone Spurs there? What are your thoughts on that? Or are you capable of having thoughts that aren't in the MAGA talking point list? I'm just skipping down a bit here because I know I'm way behind in the chat rooms. Josh Cryer says logistics wins war. Yeah, the cooks and such are freaking kings, but it's not. But it's nothing to sit back and brag about. Kind of said that. Mike H, I was an M60 gunner. And like I've said before, thank you for your service. I know that you were in the service, and I've thanked you for that. But that's no excuse for you being a right-wing nut job. You guys can hear the whatever that is, some sort of a jackhammer. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a jackhammer, but some sort of maybe a sawzall or something. I don't know. Something's going on upstairs. I don't know what they're doing up there, but ever since the people that moved up there have been up there, first I had a leak. It happened to be over my bathtub, and they had to come in and repair that. Now I got a leak in my living room. So I don't know if they're flooding their fucking place up there or what. But anyhow, seeing Indian bread, thin, roundish. Is that pita bread you're talking about? Midas Kevin says, you like 60s, 80s rock, get ready for balls to the walls. Laughing out loud. Nick Rich says, when one word encapsulates an entire political movement, that's got to be weird, right? Yeah. The meat smells so bad. I guess is that your profile name? This person here, I think, is the same person who keeps changing their name to like funny things. So anyhow, we'll skip that. Josh Craig says, yeah, I felt like Biden was just completely brain fucked by Trump's lies, and he just couldn't respond in that debate. Yeah, it was the Gish Gallop, right? But Biden stepping down was a great American, truly brilliant, selfless move. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. And let's face it, Biden, he has lost a step a little bit here, and but that doesn't mean he hasn't been doing a great job. Fancy says Trump doesn't have time to beat anyone. It's only 2 months away. Yeah, we're down to. Are we under 90 days now? I've lost the count. I know we're right around 90 days. Walter McCarriage says, from The Apprentice on NBC to going on a podcast with a freak that smells people's shit. What a free fall. I know, that was just, yeah. That says it all right there, Walter. That really, that encapsulates it pretty well. Josh Cryer says, for sure, no one could have predicted Kamala's reinvigorated play. It was a huge risk, but the internals had to have been terrible for Biden to make the move. Yeah, I'm sure they had information that we don't have. That's why Nancy Pelosi said what she said. Where she didn't actually call for Biden to step down, I don't believe, but she was, hinting at it very strongly. And I was kind of upset at Nancy Pelosi. But then Randy Rhoads was saying, Nancy Pelosi has not been wrong very many times, and that we should probably, maybe as much as it pains her, as is Randy Rhoads saying, as much as it pains me, maybe we need to listen to Nancy Pelosi, and Randy was like, I'm just saying, this was before the announcement, and I was just like, no, Randy, no. Josh Craig says, I have never donated money to a campaign, and I donated $100, and I am very poor. Wow, Josh, that's a lot of money, $100, and yeah. So I only did $15, and I'm gonna donate some more, but I just did the 15, and now that Walls is in there, people are donating since that announcement. So Yeah, but I definitely want to. I want to donate some more. I want to get me a nice like Harris Walls 2024 cap, because you know me, I'm a cap guy. Paul Shrugimania says chapati filled with potato, onion, and garlic, delicious. It sounds good. It sounds good. So Mike H says he's upset that Kamala, because when I see the word spelled out, to me it looks like Kamala. So I'm not trying to be a maggot here, and but okay. I'm upset that Kamala, but on down, I guess. So from Kamala on down, like everyone lied, I guess, to the American public about Sloppy Joe's status. No one lied about his status, Mike H. I don't even know what you mean by his status. You talking about his health? His health is fine. He's still the president of the United States, and he's still doing a stellar job leading our country to this day, to this very moment. So there was no lying about his status. Whatever the fuck that means. 56 Nick Rich says, Uncle Joe said in 2020 that one term would be enough. Why is anyone surprised by his decision to pass the baton? Because Donald Trump is running, that's why. That's why it's a surprise, because we know that Donald Trump has to be defeated. And if Trump wasn't running from the very get-go, then Biden might not have ran from the very get-go. Josh Cryer, I still consider Biden the greatest president in my lifetime. Me too. Me too. Josh also says historians will remember him well. There's no question. Yeah. They better. They fucking better. And it's going to be, the GOAT and Joe Biden against the WOT. Donald Trump is the worst of all time. And that's not just my humble opinion. That's a lot of people's opinions. Roxanne Umfriel says, I can't wait till Trump gets his court sentences. Please let there be jail time involved. Yes, absolutely. And I believe there will be. Mike H., the withdrawal of our troops was pitiful. No, it wasn't. We had troops that were killed by terrorists. Terrorists that Donald Trump claimed to have wiped out. And apparently that was bullshit. And no one else had the guts to really get us out of there. Not even Obama. To get us out of this 20-year quagmire. Joe Biden had the guts to do it, and he did it. And they did it pretty well. The fact that there were some hell-bent for leather, terrorists wearing, bomb jackets, or whatever you call those things. Suicide vests, bomber vests. That's pretty hard to stop. And I think it's an unfair criticism of Biden. Josh Carter says, thanks, Trucker John, sorry for the ranting. You're not ranting, dude. You're not ranting. Your posts, and all you guys are encouraged to post. Fancy says, now Mike, Joe, Jolie asked you to be nice. Minus Kevin Anderson says, Trucker John, by the way, hello, Minus Kevin. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you in the lounge here. Now, Minus Kevin says, at Trucker John, I liked the rally last night when everybody roared, we love Joe, we love Joe. And Kamala laughs and says, I'll tell him you said that. Yeah, I didn't see that part of it, but I can just imagine it. these rallies with Kamala and now with Walz have been really like love fests. You know, I mean, you can just feel it. You can feel the buzz, the excitement, the joy is the buzzword, and the love, and how how I think everyone has pretty much everyone has an understanding about what Joe did, President Joe Biden, what he did, and how we love him and we appreciate everything he's done, and and how there's no animosity being directed towards Kamala Harris. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. And can you see the Republicans doing anything like that? I mean, if it's like Donald Trump is just kicking and screaming his way, around the country. It's just like a hate fest over there. Jimbo says Magnet Party and Trump in free fall in latest polls. Yep. Let's see. Mike says I am. I don't know what that was a reference to, because, like I say, when I'm 10 minutes behind in chat, then I don't remember what something might be in reference to. Walter McCaver says, I just wonder who started the idea of withdrawal but left it up to someone else to clean up the mess. Yeah, I wonder who that was. Yeah, remember, Trump was the one that negotiated and set up these withdrawal dates that were conveniently going to be in the Biden term, right? Because he didn't have the guts to do it himself. Joe Biden had the guts to do it. And I'm glad he did it. I'm not glad about the U.S. service people that were killed. No one's glad about that. That was horrible. But I don't think you can just put that on Biden, like blame him for that. I mean, okay, yeah, he's the he's the president, so he's going to take the heat, but it's not. I don't know. It's war. People die in wars, and withdrawing can be messy. That didn't sound right. And like I said, these were carried out by terrorists that Trump claimed he had wiped out. He claimed that he wiped out ISIS. And these were ISIS terrorists in suicide vests that did that. Paul Sharkey Mannion says Trump was responsible for the deal he done with the Taliban. He signed the deal. And he released, 5,000 Taliban fighters in the process. That's the art of the deal, man. That's the big deal maker, Donald Trump. Michael Meandros is here. Good to see Michael. Another Michael. We've got a couple Michaels here. Michael Meandros says, Vance said Kamala is hiding and running her campaign from a basement. Republicans have so much lead poisoning. Did he really say that? Because if he said that, if he did say that, then that just shows what a complete idiot that Vance is. And he knows better because he's the one following her around the country. While Kamala and Walz are barnstorming all over the fucking place. Rally after rally after rally. So it's just a ridiculous statement. Let's see. Jimbo says Bonespur was playing tennis and golf after getting deferment. Josh Cryer says we heard it, but it sounds like your neighbor upstairs is going wild on their him. No, it's like a Sawzall type of thing or something. It's pretty quiet right now. Just don't be surprised if I get a knock on the door from maintenance though, because they're gonna be coming over here pretty soon. Hopefully. Anyhow, Keith Polite says Tim and Gwen Walls were able to have a child due to IVF. JD Vance voted against IVF. Just wait until the VP debate. Fire. Oh yeah. Will Vance even show up? Vance is just a chicken shit, just like Trump is, and they're both. Trump does not want to debate Kamala Harris, no matter what he says. And it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type of things. If Trump doesn't debate Kamala, he's going to look like the chicken shit that he is. And if he does debate her, he's going to get his ass handed to him. And same thing for Vance, I think. So we'll see how that plays out. CN says, Fancy, have you said to Mike what he can do with the Orange Turd connection? Is he really a hack? I have a lot to say, but I think I'll pass because it's too hot to. Okay. Paul Sharkey, sure they ain't breaking into the bank. There is no bank here. There is no bank. This is just an apartment. Jumbo. So I guess this is when you guys can hear the noise. I'm getting all these noise references in the chat. So let me yeah, Mike H just continues with the right-wing nonsense. And yet, Mike H wants to say that Joe Biden is unfit for duty or whatever, and yet he supports Donald Trump, who we can see is just unhinged and unraveling, and he's not even fit to run Mar-a-Lago or whatever, It's just amazing, all the projection and everything that they put on Biden and whatever. When their own guy that they support is really the one that is unfit and unstable. MJ Daniels here. MJ says President Biden will continue doing a good job until January. Yep, that's absolutely what I just said. He's going to be our president all the way until January, and he's doing a great job, and he's very competent. Fancy says, I expect Joe Biden has some nice parting surprises for us. Hey, there's Kimchi. Kimchi's back. Says, hey, Mike, what flavor is the KoolAid in your world? Yeah, Mike, what flavor of KoolAid you drinking this morning? That's how I would have phrased it. Michael Begandra says, USA versus weirdos. Who will win? And you know what? I mean, the whole weirdo thing. Yeah, there's a lot of people they like they like being called weird because there's a lot of quirky people that they don't necessarily fit into what we consider norm, and that's great. That's fine. We love those kind of weird people. Maybe I'm one of the weird people. I don't always, I'm not always just like walking in the mainstream or whatever. But then there's the other kind of weird that's just like weird, creepy weird, like Trump and JD Vance. I mean, those guys are creepy weird. Like gross, disgusting kind of weird. So there's different kinds of weirds, is what I'm trying to say. There's good ones and there's bad ones. Paul Sharky Man says, keep calm and carry on was a poster slogan used by the Brits in the Second World War. Well, there you go. There you go. We're going to keep calm and carry on. CN says, yep, But Harris did one better, and she said, "We will win in November, and DOJ will handle the jail part." There you go. Michael McAndrews says the only hostages Donald ever got released were it was actually 5,000. Michael says 500 Taliban fighters in jail. I believe it was 5,000, Michael. You might want to check me on that to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it was 5,000. Jimbo says Trump was negotiating with the Taliban, which isn't surprising since he is colluding with Putin now. Oh yeah, he's as House Sparks so eloquently put it, Donald Trump is so far up Putin's ass that he's burping something. I botched that, but you know what I mean. He's Putin's puppet, basically in a nutshell. Michael Andrews, I think a strong independent DOJ would have put Dumpy Stump in prison by now. I think the Republicans corrupted everything. Well, the DOJ is led by Merrick Garland. Democrat appointed. But we do have lots of little flies in the ointment. That's for sure. Like Eileen Cannon and all that kind of shit. And of course, those 3 illegitimate SCOTUS picks. Michael McAndrews says, we have a lot to repair once we get the criminal Republicans out of there. Yeah, our work is never done. We're always cleaning up after them, aren't we? Democrats are always constantly having to clean up after Republicans. It's like, the parade is going through and the horses and whatever animals are in the parade, elephants even, and then they're just shitting as they walk. And we, being the good, groundskeepers that we are, we go in behind and we have to clean up their shit. Quite frankly, I'm getting tired of cleaning up their shit. That's why I'm saying we need to keep voting for Democrats over and over and over again. Election cycle after election cycle, midterms, presidential elections, everything in between. We cannot stop. We cannot stop. We got to vote every single time. Every time. And when we show up, we win. When we get big numbers of Democrats voting, we win. And we got to keep winning. So that we can get some cycles in here where we're not just cleaning up the Republican shit. CN says there are people that went to MSNBC to tell those thugs to leave the votes alone, or will they end up in jail? Will they listen? Fancy says the Arizona electors problem is getting worse for him. Yeah, Jenna Ellis is flopped. She's going to tell, and if she doesn't cooperate, then the deal is rescinded, and she'll be one of the ones going to prison too. MJ Daniel says Democrats get the blame for messes the GOP keeps making. The USA needs a few Democratic majorities in a row, like the period from FDR on, to fix the shit. Yeah, that's exactly what I was alluding to. That we need to keep voting, keep showing up, election after election after election. This is not just a one-time thing, people. This 2024 election is not a one-time deal. It's an every election deal. And it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard to vote. And it isn't that hard to at least take a few minutes out of your day to learn about some of the issues and about some of the candidates. It's not that hard. I'm tired of the excuses. I am tired of the excuses. No more excuses. Just vote. Every single time, every election, get out there and vote. Walter McCarovich says, Trucker John, I got an idea for you. Kamala and Walz are going to be in Vegas, do a live stream, show everyone, do a live stream. When there's no periods, it kind of screws me up. When there's no punctuation. Do a live stream, show everyone the difference. Okay, yeah, I would like to. I would do that if I know the date, the time, what it is I got to do to get in. It might not be so easy. Doing the Trump one was really easy. All I had to do was sign up online, and I got a virtual ticket to go in. I never did go into the actual, secured area because I just didn't feel like waiting in line, but I probably should have. But anyhow, I've noticed that, Joe Biden has come here and Kamala Harris has come here to Vegas a few times, and I always miss them. They don't seem to publicize it as well as Trump was publicizing his deal. One time I was trying to go to I think it was a Biden speech, I think it was Biden, and it was somewhere. I had the general vicinity of where it was, but I didn't know where it was. I could never find it, where he was at. So they make it difficult for some reason to get to these rallies. Or maybe I'm just, not sophisticated enough to figure it out. Michael May Anderson, D. Pamela, it's legit just the same basement line they used for Joe, and Repubs eat it up despite the evidence of reality. Yeah, they're just trying to throw all the same shit. They're just recycling all their old shit that they threw at Joe, and it's just, or even going back to Hillary, or even going back to Obama, or even going back to John Kerry. They're trying to recycle some of these old tactics, and they're not going to work. Because we've all seen it now. We've seen the trick. We know the trick. And we're not going to be fooled by it this time. We're not going to be fooled by it. Let's see. MJ Daniel says, no veteran or active duty worth the uniform would support DJT or JD Couch. After the comments they continue to make, DJT comments about John McCain should have been enough by itself. Yep. And a lot of veterans did turn away from Trump for that. A lot haven't, but a lot have. So there you go. Sia says, no, Vance is really creepy. I don't think his wife will think it's a good idea to follow her. He is really cray-cray. MJ Dano, 5,000 Taliban prisoners and without one word to the Afghan government. Yeah, that's just a deal that Trump did and just completely bypassed the Afghan government. Although the Afghan government isn't the most cohesive government. Let's see here. Yeah, James Williams is here. Paul Sharkey says, nice weirdos are called eccentric people. Nasty weirdos are called sick. Michael McAndrews, 5,000. I lost a zero somewhere in the year since Donald tweeted the deal. Let's see. Cia says, by the way, do not trust the polls. I heard the turd is paying for the polls to be higher for him. This scheme to say he was winning, but it will be a landslide. Yeah, well, yeah, you can't trust all the polls. Some polls are better than others, or more trustworthy than others. And of course, we all remember 2016, where every poll had Hillary leading. It was almost like a done deal. That's why we got to make sure we all vote, we all turn up. There's a big blue tsunami. Big blue tsunami coming on down. So you're right. Yeah, we can't just trust the polls completely, but still, we can reference the polls when just a couple weeks ago had Trump leading all the polls, and now that's all flip-flop. That's all flipped, I guess. I think that's worth mentioning. Because it's still the same polls, basically, and they've all flipped for Kamala now. So that is important to note. But does that mean we can just rest on our laurels and go, okay, I don't need to even show up? Well, done deal. It's not. We need the big blue tsunami. Rhymes with salami, I guess. Don't take anything for granted. Everyone vote, vote, vote. And vote blue all through the ticket for things that are dear to you. That's a work in progress. William says, I may vote by mail for the first time this year. Health issues. Well, I hope your health issues clear up. But I see nothing wrong with voting by mail, whether you have health issues or not. I've been voting by mail for years now. Klaatu Barato Nitko is here. Good to see Klaatu, for short. Thanks for being here and joining us. Klaatu Barato Nitko says, after Trump is gone, I wonder if the Republican Party can ever recover. They had the Tea Party before Trump, too. Yeah, that was part of the downfall. And it's going to take the Republican Party, I don't know, a long time to recover. I don't know what they're going to resurface as. But just know that whatever it is, it's still going to be about reducing or getting taxes for the ultra-rich down to zero is their ultimate goal, and stripping away regulations. That's still going to be probably the main purpose of the Republican Party, no matter how it looks. But just hopefully, less authoritarian looking. I don't know. James Williams says President Biden has another 6 months to use the power of presidency to expand the court. But I believe to expand the court, you still have to get that passed through Congress. All right? And so I don't know. I'm not sure if it's as easy as we think it is. But I would like him to do it. I would like the court to be expanded to 13. Michael says the Republican Party should be shut down. Well, it is our major party. We only have two major parties. And whether or not it gets shut down, I mean, it's good. There's going to be something's going to emerge out of it, and whether they change their name or whatever. Like I said, no matter what, they're still going to be all about zero taxes for billionaires and huge corporations, and stripping away as many regulations as they can. That's still going to always be their bottom line. No matter what that second party comes back as, and whether it's still called the Republican Party or they change the name altogether, it's still going to be a shit party, no matter what. It might not be so blatantly shitty as under Trump and MAGA, but it's always going to be a shit party. We're not going to have two good parties. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We're not going to have two parties where, gee, it's a really tough decision here because I like this one and I like this one. It's not going to ever be that way. It's going to be like, I really like this party can go fuck itself. That's the way it's always going to be. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're not going to have, whatever the Republican Party resurfaces as, it's still going to be a shit show party. Paul Shargimanian says, those fake collectors filmed themselves discussing what they were going to do. Stupid fools. Yeah, what's the deal with that? We got you on tape. We got you. Michael McAndrew says they outed themselves because they fell for Dumpy Stump's con of making it seem what he was doing was okay. Yeah, that's probably a lot of it. That is a lot of it. It's like Trump gave them the ability to just come out. Now, James Williams says, I am optimistic that the Republican Party has a short shelf life before they expire completely. It is going to take decades to repair the damage Trump has done. Yep. Fancy says, people know who they are now. There is no going back. Walter McCarver says, hey, Trucker John, it says this weekend they will be in Vegas. Yeah, so I got to find out where in Vegas. Vegas is not just Vegas. I got to find out how I can get in there. I got is there some sort of ticket I need to get? I need to find out what I can bring in there. If I can't bring in my gimbal, then that means I got to just hold the thing like this. It's going to be shaky, but I guess I would do that. But so I need more info. Fancy says you should go to that, TJ. James Williams says the only poll that matters is the one in November. Big Hook is here. The Big Canuck. Apparently, the unregistered site in Georgia was followed up by a hack of the entire voter database and most of all names and social security numbers. Check your registration, especially in Georgia. Yeah, there's always something, Always something. Gerald Ray says live stream it. Well, if I can find out where it's at and if I can get in, then I'll consider it. Michael McAndrews, I guess there are always Nazis and other crooks we will always have to watch out for. Yep. Roxanne Armfield says, Republicans are like cancer. We thought they were done after Nixon, but they came back again and is threatening the body politic. I didn't think they were done after. I mean, Nixon was horrible. Reagan was horrible too. And it really has been this continued downward spiral ever since Reagan. With glimpses of hope, with Clinton turning around the economy, bringing in jobs, Obama cleaning up after W. Bush, cleaning up a near Great Depression. It was a Great Recession, actually, but almost a depression. Cleaning up that mess. And then now Biden not only cleaning up after Trump's mess, but leading us to the best economy we've seen in decades. In a half a century. Let's see. MJ Daniel says, voting here in Washington is great. We get a detailed voter info pamphlet in the mail, and the ballot return postage is paid. We sent ours back 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it'd be nice if every state was like that. But, red states aren't going to do that shit. They don't want voter turnout because they know high voter turnout, more than likely, it leads to just more Democratic wins. So that's why they do everything in their power to have lower turnout, a lower voter turnout. Looks like it's kind of cloudy outside, by the way, here in Las Vegas. See, Mike H says Earl Grey with sugar and creamer. That's what I'm drinking. No, nice. Sounds nice, Mike H. I'm glad you're enjoying your tea as the world is burning all around you. Nice that you can drink tea. Let's see. Klato Barato Nitko. I don't know if I just put a hex on something or what. But anyhow, J.D. Vance had the gall to say he wants to debate Kamala Harris. Yeah, that's kind of like, the kid who's trying to look brave, saying he'll go fight like the biggest, toughest kid in school, but he doesn't really mean it. And he's hoping and praying to God that, someone will intervene. Fancy says, Trucker John, they haven't chosen a location yet. It says to be determined. Well, there you go. So as soon as they determine it, let me know, or I'll try to find out. That's the thing that they do. They seems like they wait till the last second to announce where they're at. I don't know how they get crowds. They still manage to get big crowds, but you know, what can I say? I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. MJ Daniel says, JD Couch does not seem too bright for having an Ivy League education. Somebody may need to clue him that Walz will be the VP candidate. Oh, that's right. It went right over my head, too. That went right over my head, too. That's funny. It went right over my head. But still, it still was a funny analogy about the kid wanting to fight, the toughest kid, and hoping someone will intervene. It's still that's still valid, but yeah, she's running for president. God damn it. Nick Rich says 2:00 p.m. here. Got to pull up stakes, folks. 10-4. Wow, it's already been almost 2 hours. It's been 2 hours already. By golly. Thank you, Nick Rich, by the way, for being here. I'm gonna pull up stakes here in about 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Anyhow, so thanks for being here, Nick Rich. Thanks to all of you guys for being here. I've just been reading chats. I didn't even really go off on too many rants or anything like that. I didn't really do anything. I didn't have anything to really post. I mean, I did this one on the last show. I didn't add anything, Maybe I should just put that up here just as a little. Oops, I zoomed in everything. Oh my gosh! Let's see how did that happen? Oh wow, I don't like that. See, here I go. I'm messing around, and anyhow, we're almost done, so I'm not gonna mess around. But I don't have anything new to add. But it's Walz. We all know it's Tim Walz. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great pick. I think this is a great winning team. Harris Walz 2024. Harris Walz to the balls. Walz to the balls with Walz and Harris. I don't know. Whatever it is, but I'm all for it. I'm all on board. I'm voting blue until I'm blue in the face. I'm voting blue for all the things that are dear to you. That's a work in progress too. But, I'm voting blue because I believe in a woman's choice to choose, to make her own reproductive choices. I don't believe government should be fucking interfering with that. I don't believe that's not murder. I believe IVF is not murder. That's another thing. How many of you out there have had to use IVF to try to have a kid? You or somebody you know. And that IVF was a great thing because without that you wouldn't be able to have a kid. And these fucking right-wing nut jobs want to say that that's murder because there are eggs that get lost in the process. Okay, an egg is not a fucking kid, by the way. An egg is an egg, goddammit. And I'm getting sick and tired of these fucking right-wingers. And they've been doing this for 40 years, 50 years, ever since Roe v. Wade was enacted. And I'm just so sick and tired of them. Aren't you? I think we're all sick and tired of these fucking right-wingers. It's like, yeah, mind your own goddamn business. You fucking right-wing nut jobs. Get the fuck out of my uterus. I don't have one, but you know what I mean. It's just, I'm just so sick of them. And I think we all are. That's why we see, as soon as Kamala Harris was announced as being the top of the ticket, that's why we all, even like Josh, donated $100, and that was a lot of money for Josh. I donated $15, and that was a lot of money for me. And we all said, hey, this is how we're showing our support. We're sending money to your campaign. I think we're all on fire for this. We're all chomping at the bit. We only got like 90 days. Let's do this. Let's do it to it. Let's make Kamala Harris the next president of our great country. Tim Walz the vice president. Let's make Donald Trump just, a footnote in history. Let's send him off to his obscurity. Let's send him off to prison where he can rot and die in. And, I can't wait. I can't wait to vote. I can't wait. And man, I can't overemphasize how I am just so sick and tired of Republicans. I really am. And the Republican Party. Let's put an end to it. And by putting an end to it, that means we vote. We vote Democrats all up and down the ticket. Give Kamala Harris the Congress that she needs so she can be an effective president. So she doesn't have to do all this, jumping through hoops and jumping hurdles so much. I mean, being president is not an easy job, and it shouldn't just be an easy job, I guess. It's supposed to be hard. But, God damn it, let's give her the tools that she needs, and that is voting for a Congress. Let's get the House of Representatives back into Democratic control. Let's keep the Senate, and let's gain seats so we can get rid of... I'd like to get rid of that goddamn filibuster. And I know people say, well, when Republicans are in power, you're going to wish you had a filibuster. Well, you know what? If we keep voting and we don't stay home during midterms, then we don't have to worry about the Republicans ever taking over again. That's the emphasis that needs to be made. And I'm telling you, November 6th, the day after the election, I'm going to be right on here hammering for 2026. That we need to, it's going to start on day one with me. There's no resting for the wicked. There's no resting on our laurels. Day one, I'm going to start talking about 2026. You can count on that. All right? All right, guys. I want to thank every one of you for being here today, watching, liking, subscribing, sharing. Make sure you hit the share button. I know a lot of you do. A lot of you don't. Sharing helps grow the show, helps grow the channel, helps give these words of wisdom. Oh, yes, these words of wisdom out. And basically, it gets you guys, because you guys are the ones that have the words of wisdom. And you guys help me so much, and you enlighten me on so much of the issues and everything going on. The show is nothing without you guys. So let's keep it going. Today is Thursday, by God. So you know what? There will be, come to mention it, another show today. Unless there's a lot of just too much noise. I don't know if maintenance is going to come in. They might be in. So I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll go sit in the car and do the show or whatever. But we're going to have a House Sparks pre-show warm-up. Okay, guys? I believe House Sparks is coming on at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So I'll come on at 3 where we can just hang out while we get ready. Well, we get ready to go see Hal. Right? So if you guys are going to be there, let me know in the chat real quick. Just give me a thumbs up or whatever if you're going to be there at 3 so I can kind of know if you guys are going to show. And I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. right here on YouTube on the Trucker John channel. It's the Trucker John live stream. That's what that says back there, by the way. Or maybe I should move this way. See, that's what it is. Trucker. Well, it looks like Trucker. The Trucker John live stream. But trust me, it says Trucker. Okay, look. Now I gotta move. I gotta move Tim. Tim, I'm moving you over a little bit. I don't mean to cut out Kamala, but anyhow, there we go. All right, Trucker John live stream. Right there. Coming back at you at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So you have to adjust accordingly to whatever time zone you're in. Because I don't know what all time zones you guys are all in. I know you guys are all over the place. This is a worldwide audience. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that Trucker John, lowly old Trucker John, born and raised out in the desert of Apple Valley, California, is talking to people from Australia and England and the Netherlands and Canada and all over America and God knows where else. It's a beautiful thing, guys. It's a fucking beautiful thing. It really, really is. And I appreciate every single one of you for being here, even Mike H. And I know a lot of people don't like Mike H or whatever, but I even appreciate Mike coming in here. I really do. Because he's at least keeping it civil. You know what I mean? And he's kind of learned not to just repeat the same talking point. At least he mixes his talking points up a little bit. Anyhow. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys in a few hours. Actually, only about 4 hours from now. I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time for a House Sparks pre-show warm-up or hangout. I guess we call it a hangout. I used to call it warm-ups. I think hangout might be more appropriate because we're just going to hang. Maybe we'll drink some of you might be drinking a Diet Mountain Dew. I do not drink any diet sodas. I think they're disgusting. And Mountain Dew is not my favorite. I'm more of a wild cherry Pepsi guy myself. Or a Modelo Negra myself. Or a coffee. Or a water. Anyhow, okay guys, I need to go. We all need to go. Let's go do some stuff. Let's rehydrate and do whatever we got to do. We got 4 hours to do some stuff. Do some chores. Do some errands. And then come on back here. And I'll see you guys then. All right. Oh, and don't forget. Do not forget to stretch your hamstring. I'm getting all choked up. Because just thinking about pulling a hammy, it chokes me up. And you don't want to pull a hammy, believe me. All right, guys. I'll see you then. See you at 3.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be on too glad. So hasta la vista, baby, the show is over, but could I ask you, maybe, to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John Kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back.